Alrighty, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Thanks for joining me this morning. My name's CJ. Welcome back to the channel. Good morning to all you lovely people in the chat this morning. It's good to see all of you out there. Thank you so much for joining me every morning. I appreciate all the continued support. We kicked butt yesterday. We crushed those likes once again. We crushed those views once again. So you guys are continuing to blow my expectations out of the water, and I am forever grateful and appreciative of your ongoing and continued support. How did you guys do last night? Drop a comment in the chat. Let me know. Did you win some money? Did you lose some money? Who helped you out? Who let you down? I like hearing all your wins, and I even like hearing about your losses because there's a lot to learn from our losses. There's a lot that we can build off of and grow from in times of defeat and despair. So let me know, who was your hero? Who was your zero last night over in the chat? For me, a couple of heroes for me was Kendrick Bourne over receiving yards. That one really worked out for me. Mike Davis over 2.5 receptions. I know this is an NBA stream, but we're talking a little bit of NFL for you who don't know what we're talking about. Last night's Patriots and Falcons game. Both of those guys ended up working out. Tyrese Maxey over 15.5 points, I think it was. That ended up working out for me as well. Who else? Well, I took Ja Morant over rebounds at 5 boards. He ended up with exactly 5 boards, so we ended up pushing on that particular prop. So that one did not go exactly how I wanted it to go, but still not mad at it. You know, still made some money. I took advantage of the 4X power play, the promo that PrizePicks had going on last night. So if you played any power plays and they included an NFL player and an NBA player, you got 4X the payout instead of 3X. That's on 2-pick power plays. So that's what I did last night, and I ended up making all kind of different combos using Tyrese Maxey over points, Ja Morant over rebounds, Mike Davis over 2.5 receptions, and Kendrick Bourne over whatever his receiving yards were. But a lot of different combos, a lot of different ways to go last night, and it ended up working out my favor. Let's talk to the chat here. Hawks fan, good morning to you. Good morning to George. Good morning to Seth, Roberto, Eric, Nick is up in the building, Enrique, Sethi, Ronald, Josh, Debnesht, am I saying that right? Good morning to you. Angelicious up in here. Wesley, good morning to you. Wesley, A1 Day 1, longtime supporter. He's been in the Patreon community since I can even remember, before it was even Patreon. So thank you, Wesley, for joining me this morning. Kerrigan, how are you? Ben's back up in the building. Good to see you again, Ben. Markel, good morning to you. Corey, good morning, Corey. Garrett's in here. Good morning to Garrett. Cameron's in the building. Williams up in the house. Nick, Wicked, Luke, man, we got everybody up in here this morning. Fantastic turnout, up to 37 viewers so far. So let's go ahead and cover some announcements real quick. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please do so now. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers by January 1st, 2022. That will be my 1-year anniversary on YouTube, so I'm trying to hit those goals. So I know a lot of you who watch these streams are not subscribed yet. If you could do so now, take a minute, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. I go live typically Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We go through all the research for these NBA player props. We help you try to win money. I'm just trying to put a few extra bucks in people's pockets out there. So if you're into that sort of thing, hit subscribe. And I promise I'll be here as often as I can to give you guys an assist. And also, if you could hit the like button. We went well over 100 likes, and we've been doing so with pretty good consistency. I'm going to take the over at 99.5 likes again. Let's go ahead and knock this one out of the park. Finish Strong Friday is the theme today, so we're going to, boom, look to finish strong today. Alrighty, our reference site of choice is PrizePicks. If you go to prizepicks.com, use promo code Curry, your first deposit will be matched 100% of the way, meaning it's a dollar for dollar price match. Whatever you put in, PrizePicks will match it, and they'll double up your money. So you're playing with house money. Your first entry is completely free. Definitely check it out. There's a link down in the description. And again, promo code Curry, you can take advantage of that offer. Let's go ahead and take a look at today's slate. We got 9 games, so it's kind of a nice, chunky, medium-sized slate. closer to the large side. So let's go ahead and break it down real quick. 7 p.m. Golden State Warriors at the Detroit Pistons. For Golden State, we got Andre Iguodala as a game time decision. Of course, no surprise, Klay Thompson, James Wiseman continue to sit out for Golden State. For Detroit, Kelly Olynyk is out dealing with a knee issue. 7 p.m. also Indiana Pacers at Charlotte Hornets. We've got Chris Duarte, game time decision, and TJ Warren is ruled out. 7:30 p.m., a battle of two of the most historic teams in NBA history. The Los Angeles Lakers take on the Boston Celtics in Boston. We've got LeBron James as a game time decision. Keep an eye on his injury status. And then for Boston, we've got Robert the Time Lord Williams as a game time decision, and Jaylen Brown also a game time decision as he's looking to recover from that hamstring injury. 7:30 p.m., we've got my Orlando Magic versus the Brooklyn Nets. This one's probably going to be a blowout, guys. These two teams faced off not too long ago, and it did not go Orlando's way. Jalen Suggs, game time decision. The same old names are continuing to sit out for Orlando. And then over on the Brooklyn side, the biggest impactful news is probably going to be Joe Harris, who is out for Brooklyn. 8 p.m., we've got the Clippers at Pelicans. Kawhi Leonard, Justice Winslow, Serge Ibaka, Nick Batum, all on the GTD list, according to Number Fire. And of course, for New Orleans, Zion Williamson continues to sit out. 8 p.m., Oklahoma City Thunder at the Milwaukee Bucks. This one probably will blow out as well. We've got George Hill as a game time decision. DiVincenzo and Brook Lopez continue to be out for Milwaukee. 9 p.m. Chicago Bulls at the Denver Nuggets, guys. We've got JaMychal Green, I believe that is a game time decision. I could be wrong. Is that JaMychal Green? I don't know. There's a lot of Jay Greens in the league. Nick Vucevic is out for Chicago. Jamal Murray, a game time decision, and Michael Porter Jr. is out. 10 p.m. Toronto Raptors at Sacramento Kings. We got to look out for Watanabe, Achua, and we got the news yesterday that OG Anunoby is out for an unspecified amount of time dealing with a hip injury. So that's going to shake things up for the Toronto Raptors. Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, and Fred VanVleet and Gary Trent Jr., who had a good game last night, will all benefit from his absence. And then finally, the late night hammer, the Dallas Mavericks at the Phoenix Suns. Luka Doncic, a big injury news piece to keep an eye out on. He is a game time decision. I believe he did miss the last game. And then for the Phoenix side, we've got Dario Saric and Frank Kaminsky, who are out. So that's it in terms of the slate breakdown. 9 games. Should be a lot of different ways to go. PrizePicks has been helping us out, giving us some pretty, we'll call it soft and juicy, like a peach lines lately. So good morning to everybody who's just joining us. Alan's up in here now. Chaz finally making his way into the chat. What up to you, Chaz? Josh, how you doing? Freggy's back. Smooth's up in here. Good to see you, Smooth. E-Dot, good to see you, E-Dot. And yeah, I think I covered just about everybody there. So let's go ahead and start looking at some of these player prop trends. We'll start things off by going to props.cash. Props.cash, guys. If you're not using it yet and you're wanting to do good player research, I suggest you get on board now because they're taking over. One city at a time. They're taking over the prop game. They're taking over the prop game. Check them out down in the description below. I'll leave a link for you. $19.99 a month. Get you access to NBA, NFL, and they've got NHL bubbling up. So definitely worth the $19.99 a month. You don't have to have multiple tabs open, multiple windows open. Everything you want and could need is like in one site, which is beautiful, beautiful thing. Let's look at some of the top trends in terms of points. We'll kick things off here. Chris Paul, 14.5 points, 64.3% hit rate. He's currently a minus 126 to go over 14.5 points. We've got him up on PrizePicks at a nice soft 13.5 points. Now, at 13.5 points, you can see he's gone over in 4 out of his last 5 games. So that represents an 80% hit rate at 13.5 points. Let's go ahead and take a look at CP3. He's a guy we don't talk about a whole lot, especially in terms of points. I know a lot of the times you guys have been taking the assists for Chris Paul, but we're going to talk about Chris Paul, the scorer, today and see if he's got an opportunity to go over 13.5 or maybe 14.5. Now, I think a lot of this is going to hinge on if Luka Doncic is in or out. Obviously, the game will stay closer and more competitive if Luka's in, but if he's not in, maybe we look at a blowout here. But let's look at the last 10 games for Chris Paul at 14.5 points. 7 for 10, a 70% hit rate. The stream is frozen. Can you hear me? Or what? It's frozen. You can't hear me? Interesting. Spinning wheel of death. Wow. So you can't hear me. The stream's froze a few seconds ago. We're good? All right. You guys let me know. I'm going to keep an eye on chat. If this thing acts up, somebody's going to get their ass whooped. All right, cool. Let's ride then. Chris Paul, 13.5 points. He's at 14.5 out on your favorite sports book. So we're getting about a 1 point difference here on PrizePicks. So let's go ahead and dig into it. 7 out of 10, a 70% hit rate so far. So he's been covering this prop with pretty good regularity at 14.5. But when we drop it down to 13.5, things get a little bit better here. An 80% hit rate over the last 10 games. Averaging 14.1 points per game for the season, 15 in his last 10, and 15.8 in his last 5. So his scoring numbers are trending upwards, which is a good sign if we're looking to take the over. Now, Phoenix just faced Dallas on November 17th. Chris Paul ended up with 7 points in that game. So that's a little bit of a knock, maybe taking the over on Chris Paul here. But listen, that's my favorite time to take a prop, is whenever it's coming off of a miss. I go right back to it. And I think this could be the case here for Chris Paul. We go and look at this as a bounce back spot for CP3. So looking at this matchup here against the Dallas Mavericks, they're 12th in points allowed, 24th in field goal percentage allowed, 7th in three-pointers allowed, 21 in three-point field goal percentage allowed, 7th in free throws allowed, and 3rd in point guard defense. So it's kind of a mixed bag here in terms of the matchup. There's some definite things working against Chris Paul, but there's also some good things that are in his favor. If we look at the totals, 212.5 points with Phoenix as an 8.5 point favorite at home. So this is a little bit of a spread that could mean blowout risk, a little bit of a blowout risk here. Now, if we look at the minutes here for Chris Paul, he's getting about 33 minutes per game, so a healthy amount of minutes, and he's attempting about 13 field goal attempts per game. So, yeah, things are looking pretty good here for Chris Paul overall. I like this as a bounce back spot for him. So let's go ahead and take a look at his projected points using numberfire.com. Numberfire is completely free if you want to check it out. They've got him projected for 14.8 points. We round that up, call it 15, and that puts him over 13.5. So my lean would be toward the over on Chris Paul at 13.5 with the high hit rates. The matchup looks a little dicey, but I'm not too worried about it. I want to go back to this being that he scored just 7 points against Dallas in the last game. I think this could be a game where he comes back and looks to be a little more aggressive, but definitely has a little bit of blowout risk there. So all of you guys in the chat, thank you so much for letting me know that the stream is back up and running. I don't know what happened. I don't know what technical difficulties we're having this morning. It's probably something internet related, but I'm glad we're back on track and the wheels are turning once again for you guys. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next hit rate here, the high hit rate points props. We got Michael Bridges at I did it again. Mikal Bridges, am I saying it right? Golly, 12.5 points, 64.3% hit rate, guys. He's at 11.5 over on PrizePicks, so you got him at 12.5 on your favorite sports book, 11.5 over on PrizePicks. At 11.5, this becomes a little more tricky. If you look at his game logs here, he's got 10, 13, 14, 7, and 10. So he's only really went over 11.5 or 12.5 in 2 out of his last 5 games. That's just a 40% hit rate. I don't know that I want to go there, despite that higher hit rate of 64%. Let's look at Domantas Sabonis at 16.5 points. He was at 16.5 points earlier this morning on PrizePicks, but once again, we're getting a friendly number of 15.5. I don't know why they're doing this, but I'm not going to complain. They want to give us soft lines. We'll take them, right? 22 against Denver, 18 against Philly, and 21 against New York. So he's got 3 games where he's gone over 15.5. Came really close against Detroit with 15. 6 against a tough Utah Jazz front court. But let's go ahead and talk about Domantas Sabonis. He's been one of my favorite guys to take an over on in most of his player props. Rebounds, points, he's usually pretty solid. And he gets a pretty friendly matchup tonight against the Charlotte Hornets. Now, right now, at 16.5 points, he's a minus 124 to go over 16.5. So the money's already coming in on your favorite sports books on the over for Sabonis at 16.5. So if we could get him at 15.5, well, then this is a no-brainer, right? We have to be thinking about the over here. Now, if we take a look at his last 10 games at 16.5 points, just a 60% hit rate. Decent, but not great. Let's move it down to 15.5. It stays the same, right? 15.5, he's still at the 60% hit rate according to props.cash. Now, if we look at the scoring average for the course of the season, 18.3 points per game, 16.8 in his last 10, and 16 in his last 5. So his numbers are starting to slide down. But I want to point something out here. When we go and look at this matchup against Charlotte, the first time these two teams faced off was October 20th. Domantas Sabonis dropped 33 big points on the Charlotte Hornets. So I'm not really concerned about the Hornets matchup whatsoever. And if we go down and look at this Charlotte Hornets defense and matchup for Domantas Sabonis, you'll see a lot of green, which means a lot of things are working in his favor. They rank 30th, in other words, dead last in points allowed. This should be a high scoring game. 25th in field goal percentage, 25th in three-pointers allowed, 16th in three-point field goal percentage allowed, 23rd in free throws allowed, and 10th against power forwards. Again, not really worried about this matchup. You already know he put up 33 points against Charlotte before, so he's definitely got some upside in this game. 214.5 is the implied point total with Charlotte as just a 1.5 favorite at home. So this game, pretty decent total. Should stay close, should stay competitive. We don't expect there to be a blowout based on the spread. He's getting about 34 minutes per game in his last 5 games, had about 35 minutes versus Charlotte when they first met. And if you look at his numbers here, 14 field goal attempts, but things have dropped all the way down to 11 field goal attempts in his last 5 games. So hopefully those numbers boost back up. He attempted 13 shots versus Charlotte in his previous matchups. Sabonis, not really a three-point shooter. Sure, he'll take a couple of them if he's open, usually around 2 3-point attempts per game. So let's get you a projection on this point prop here for Sabo and see if, they like the over the under here. They got him at 18.2 projected points, guys. 18.2 versus 15.5 on PrizePicks or 16.5 on your favorite sports book. Kind of get an idea that we should probably be thinking about the over here on Sabonis at 15.5 points. That's probably the way that I'll be leaning on this particular points prop. So we talked about a couple of overs. Let's go down and look at some of the unders, the guys who aren't getting it done, who aren't scoring the basketball at a high hit rate. Karis LeVert, Indiana Pacers, 18.5 points, just a 25% hit rate. Currently, though, a minus 116 to go over 18.5. He's at 17.5 on PrizePicks. This will probably be a fade for me. Low hit rate, a wonky number at 17.5. Maybe if he was at 18.5, I'd consider going under. But yeah, I think I'm going to stay away from that one. Blake Griffin, 7.5 points is his line today. 26% hit rate at 7.5. Not seeing... Oh, yeah, they do have Blake Griffin up. They have Blake Griffin up, but he's at 6.5 points. So just a few games back, he was at 8.5. And I loved the under at 8.5. But at 6.5, I think things are getting a little too close for comfort. You can see, though, in his last 3 games, he's went under 6.5 points in 3 straight, 6, 4, and 2, respectively. But I think that number is getting a little too close for comfort, and I don't think I want to go there. If you get him at 7.5, though, I'd probably say lean toward the under. Isaiah Stewart, 8.5 points is his line. Just a 28 to 29% hit rate, though. He is a current minus 124 favorite to go over at 8.5 points. So Isaiah Stewart not going to be up on the PrizePicks board just yet, but if you can get him later on, maybe you lean toward the under on Isaiah Stewart. So those are some of your high hit rate, low hit rate points props. Let's move it over to the next category on PrizePicks. We got some rebounds we got to talk about here. Let's see who's been cleaning the glass and who's been not cleaning the glass. Good morning to everybody who's up in here. I will definitely get to everybody up in chat in just a moment. All 61 of you. Burberry, what's happening? Will, I see you just joined. Good to see you, Will. So I will come back around and say what's up to everybody in just a moment. Let's go ahead and get to some of these rebound props, though. Starting things off, Darius Bazley at 5.5 boards. Oh, we got some more props popping in on PrizePicks. Darius Bazley at 5.5 rebounds actually has a 78.6% hit rate. Not seeing Bazley up on the PrizePicks board just yet, but that'll be one to keep an eye out on if they do post him later on. Here's one that I like, though. Devin Booker at 4.5 rebounds. If I'm not mistaken, Book's been on the boards a lot lately. Yes, he has. 8 against Portland, 5 against Memphis, 5 against Houston, 5 against Minnesota, and 9 in his last game against Dallas, which happens to be tonight's opponent. So Devin Booker, 100% hit rate in his last 5 games, going 5 straight for 5 or more rebounds. So we got to talk about Devin Booker here. We don't think of him as a rebounder, but hey, the numbers don't lie, right? Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. So let's go ahead and take a look at Devin Booker real quick. The Dallas Mavericks visiting the Phoenix Suns. It's a back-to-back rematch type of scenario here for these two teams. If we look at his last 10 games, my oh my, is that a lot of green. Let's unclick the show last season button here. There we go. You can see it right here, guys, for yourself. 9 out of 10 games, 90% hit rate. He has gone over 4.5 rebounds in 9 out of 10. You can't ask for much better than that. In fact, if you did, you'd be greedy, a greedy savage. The only thing better than 90% is like, what, 100% hit rate? But yeah, we can't be mad at 90%. 6.2 rebounds per game over the course of the season, 6.8 in his last 10, and 6.4 in his last 5. And we already talked about the previous game, the last game against Dallas, 9 rebounds in that one. So things are looking very good here for Devin Booker. He is currently a minus 148 to go over 4.5 rebounds. So this could move. If PrizePicks is moving lines today, then I could see this being as high as 5 rebounds. And even at 5 rebounds, I'd be very tempted to take the over at 5 rebounds. But Devin Booker at 4.5 boards, guys, looking like a great way to go here so far. Looking at this Dallas defense, 17th, so middle of the pack in terms of rebounds allowed to the opposing team and players. Offensive rebounds allowed, they rank 3rd, so they're tough on the offensive glass, but that's okay because we know most rebounds are on the defensive side, and that's where they really struggle. 28th in defensive rebounds allowed, giving up nearly 37 to 38 rebounds per game, so things are looking good here for Book. Going down here, looking at his minutes, about 33 minutes per game in his last 5, 35 minutes in the last game against Dallas, back on the 17th. And then in terms of rebounds, you can kind of get an idea how his rebounds shake out. Total rebounds listed up here in red. The offensive rebounds are highlighted in green. So most, again, of the rebounds are going to be coming on the defensive side of things. So loving this prop here. Devin Booker's looking like a great solid play at just 4.5 rebounds. Let's pull up a projection, though, here for Booker. They've got him at exactly 4.5 boards here on Number Fire, so that's not really giving us a lean over or under, right? It's exactly where he's at on PrizePicks and on most sports books. So if it's up to me, I'd have to just rely on the historical data, the data we have from the previous matchup against the Mavericks, where Devin Booker smashed the glass with 9 boards, doubling his line today of 4.5. I'd have to lean toward the over, in case you couldn't tell. The over would be my favorite way to go on this prop. So let's head back to the rebound trends board here on props.cash. I know one that had been hitting with pretty good success lately was Brandon Ingram at 3.5 boards. He's currently at 4.5 boards out on props.cash and your favorite sports book, but almost a 78% hit rate at just 4.5 rebounds. And the money's coming in pretty good here, minus 134 on the over. Do we have Brandon Ingram up on the board? We do not, but he's going to be one you want to keep an eye out on. If they do put him up on the PrizePicks board later on, I like that as a potential overplay. Another high hit rate guy, Saddiq Bey at 5.5 rebounds, 71% hit rate, but currently a little more money coming in on the under at minus 112. So if we have Saddiq Bey up on the board, we do not. No Detroit Pistons yet. But that could be another way to go, guys, potentially looking at Saddiq Bey. Let's go down and take a look at some of the unders, the guys that are not getting the rebounds for their respective teams. So Patty Mills, 4.5 boards. That seems kind of high. 0% hit rate at 4.5 rebounds. That has to be a mistake. He's at 1.5 boards on PrizePicks. but 4.5 out on the sports books tonight. That's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know what to think about that one. That's kind of confusing why the lines are off by so much. 4.5 versus 1.5. 4.5 seems really high for Patty Mills, right? 1.5 seems more appropriate. At 1.5, I mean, it looks like he's able to get at least 2 rebounds or better in most of his games. 80% hit rate at 1.5 rebounds. So, I don't know. That one's weird. Let's see. Do we have Karis LeVert up? Karis LeVert at 3.5 rebounds, just a 25% hit rate, but he's currently a minus 148 to go over. So this could be somewhat of a trap here. Let's just take a quick look at it. 4 boards against Portland, 7 against Sacramento, 2, 3, and 3, falling short in his last 3 games at 3.5 boards. Don't know that I want to go there, though. That one just looks a little too dicey for me. Do we have Mr. Brown up? Bruce Brown? Not seeing him up on the PrizePicks board, but at 5.5 rebounds, just a 26% hit rate, and he's currently a minus 114 to go under that number. So let's go ahead and take a look at assists here. We've got a few assists up. We've got about 14 different assists to look at up on the PrizePicks board. We'll go back up here to the top to props.cash. Let's look at the high assist hit rates here. So at 9.5 assists, Chris Paul currently 64.3% hit rate. He is a minus 118 to go under. But we're getting him at 8.5 on PrizePicks, so that's a 1 assist difference, right? So PrizePicks, again, coming at us with the soft lines. We already talked about Chris Paul's points being a potentially good way to go. So maybe we go Chris Paul's points, or if you don't like the points, you could look at the assists. Let's dig in a little bit deeper here since we've already got the Phoenix Suns, Dallas Mavericks games pulled up here. Chris Paul at 9.5 assists in his last 10 games, 60% hit rate. If we dial this down from 9.5 and go to 8.5, the hit rate remains the same, 60%. Now he's averaging 10.5 assists over the course of the season, 10.4 in his last 10, but his numbers have dropped down to just 9 assists per game in his last 5. Even if he were to average 9 assists, that's more than 8.5, so not bad. And in his last game against the Dallas Mavericks, 14 dimes were dropped against Dallas. So that's a good sign if you are looking to take the over here. And I think maybe you should consider the over at 8.5 assists. At 9.5, I might back away from this prop. But if we go down here and look at Dallas, they rank 20th in terms of assists allowed. So they're a very giving team when it comes to the assist prop category, giving up over 24 assists per game here. So let's go take a look and get you a projection for Chris Paul's assists according to NumberFire. And he is at the top of the assist board today. They've got him projected for 10 assists versus the 8.5 assists that you're getting him at over on PrizePicks. So yeah, again, think about leaning toward the over on 8.5, but at 9.5, I can understand you being maybe a little bit gun shy and backing away. Now, this one was one I played the other night, and you can kind of see why. I took the over. I think Devin Booker was at 4 assists the other night. I took the over against Dallas in this last game. Guy has 0 assists. In the previous 5 games, I think he had went over 4 assists in like 5 straight games, and then just happened to have a dud against the Dallas Mavericks with 0. But maybe this is a prop that you go back to, as he did have 6 against Portland, 7 against Memphis, 6 against Houston, and 5 against Minnesota. We shouldn't have recency bias when it comes to playing these player props. We should look at things like the averages. And I think this could be a bounce back spot here for Devin Booker's assists. So that could be an interesting way to go. All right, enough about assists. Let's talk about some 3-point makes, and then I'll head over to the chat and we'll take some of your questions and comments and see what you guys are liking tonight. So we'll go back over to props.cash, look at the 3-point field goals made, and see who we got up on the PrizePicks board. Right now, you can see there's only 8 3-point props up at the moment, but Gordon Hayward at 1.5. If you could get him at 1.5 3-point makes, guys, he's rocking an 81% hit rate. So that's looking pretty good, despite the fact that he's a minus 115 to go under. James Harden, the beard, 2.5 3-point makes. He's almost at 70% in terms of a hit rate, minus 184 to go over. So we're not seeing that one up on the PrizePicks board either this morning. Who are we looking at here? We got DeMar DeRozan, Josh Giddey, Devontae Graham. Not seeing really any of these guys up on the board, unfortunately. There's Miles Turner, 1.5 3-point makes, currently a 50% hit rate. I don't know if I want to go to Miles Turner. Let's take a quick look at it. 2, 3, 2, 1, and 1. Kind of a mixed bag. I don't know that I trust him with the Pacers being fully healthy. We got Brogdon back in the lineup, LeVert back in the lineup. Sabonis is always there. He's going to want the basketball, so I don't know that I want to touch any Miles Turner props personally. Let's look at some of these lower hit rates. Devin Booker, 2.5 3-point makes, just a 21% hit rate. Karis LeVert, 1.5 threes. He's sitting at a 25% hit rate. Let's look at his game logs. 0 against Portland, 1 against Sacramento, 1 against Philly, 0 against the Knicks. And he comes out swinging with 3 3-point makes against the Detroit Pistons. Is that an outlier or is that a sign of things to come? We'll have to take a look at this one a little bit closer. Let's do it. So we go back to props.cash. We'll dial everything in here. Looking at this Indiana Pacers at Charlotte Hornets matchup, Karis LeVert, 1.5 3-point makes over the course of the season, just 2 for 8 in covering this prop, 25% hit rate. He's averaging 1.3 3-point makes over the course of the season. And in his last 5, he's averaging just 1 3-point make in his last 5 games. But you could kind of get a look at his last 8 game logs here. It's feast or famine for Karis LeVert. He's either making 0 or 1, or he's going to come out and make 3. Now, these 3s are few and far between. So more often than not, he's usually making 0 to 1 3-point makes. Let's look at this matchup here. Charlotte Hornets, 16th in 3-point field goal percentage allowed. They're giving up about 34% of the 3-point makes that go up, go in. And then in terms of total 3-pointers allowed, 25th. So this is actually kind of a good thing if you're looking to take the over on Karis LeVert. They're giving up about 13 to 14 3-point makes over the course of the season. So I don't know. Not sure what to think of this one. If we look at the last 5 games, he's attempting almost 6 3-pointers per game. He shot 10 threes against Detroit, guys. It took him 10 attempts to make that 3-point make number. He shot 3 against New York, missed all 3 of them. 2 against Philly, made just 1 of 2. 5 against Sacramento, made 1. And then he shot 8 against Portland and missed all of them. I'd probably have to lean toward the under here. I mean, this guy's just not showing me that he's a great shooter by any means. So that's kind of the way that I think I would be looking at Karis LeVert in this situation. Any others that stick out? Let's take a look here. We'll buzz through them real quick. Malcolm Brogdon at 2.5 3-point makes, just a 27% hit rate. This would probably be one that ends up in a push type of situation for me. He has hit 3, so he's covered in 2 games out of his last 5, so that's just a 40% hit rate. But if we look at 2 or more, then things get a lot better. 80% hit rate at 2 or more. So I'd probably lean toward the over on Brogdon. Maybe worst case scenario, he ends up with exactly 2 3-point makes and you end up in a tie or a push on PrizePicks. But that's going to do it for my portion of the stream. Sorry we had those technical difficulties earlier. Let's get to the chat though and see what you guys are talking about here. Going back up to the top. HawksFan178 says, Sabonis over 15.5 points versus Hornets. Yes. We talked about that one. That one did happen to be a good play, one that looked good to me. So I agree with you on that one, Hawks fan. I think we should look at some Sabonis over 15.5 points. George says, good morning. And good morning to you, George. Sethi, great day to cash. Everyone hit that like button when you're joining. Yes, if you could all hit the like button, that would definitely get us a lot closer to our goal of 100 or more likes. Of course, I set the line of 99.5 likes today. Roberto says, let's make some money. Please, let's make some money. I mean, I made some money last night. Hopefully you guys made some money. It was a good night for me. Hopefully it was a good night for you. And we're looking to finish strong Friday. That's the theme of today's video. Finish strong Friday. We want to finish this week off strong. Eric says he did not hit yesterday because Nikola Jokic missed by 1 rebound in a blowout. Yeah, that was kind of a weird situation. So I had Jokic going over his fantasy points number. He ended up falling 2 fantasy points short of a tie or a push. And it was kind of weird because Jamal Murray goes up to the coach and whispers something in his ear. And then immediately they pull Nikola Jokic out of the game after he knocked down 2 free throws. So that was kind of a weird situation. Maybe Jamal Murray was looking out for his big Nikola Jokic. What else are we talking here? Giannis over rebounds tonight seems like a strong play. Giannis Antetokounmpo over rebounds. We've got him. We don't have him up on the PrizePicks board, but let's see if we could take a look at the trends here, and maybe Antetokounmpo will be at the top of the list. I'm not seeing Giannis at the top of the high hit rate list here on props.cash. We got to go down a little ways. At 10.5 rebounds, he's only covered in about 43% of his games. He's currently a minus 128 to go under. So kind of wondering what you're seeing in that Giannis over rebounds prop, Eric. If you could drop a little more insight for the chat, we would love that. Good morning to all of you. Let's see what else we got here. Josh says, good morning. I went heavy on Zubac rebounds last night, but it's been a net positive week thanks to the awesome content. Where did Zubac finish in terms of rebounds? I know he was at 7 rebounds at one point. Did he end up going over the 7.5? I'm not sure. Debnesh says, bro, you remember me yesterday like I said. You same with Ja Morant. I don't know what that means exactly, Debnesh. Sorry. George, nice hat. Yeah, I actually had this hat custom made, man. I'm a custom made dude like the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. No, not really, but yeah, this was actually kind of an expensive hat to have made. What's up to Kerrigan, who says, Scotty Barnes, baby. Yeah, Scotty Barnes. I took the over on Scotty Barnes' assists last night, and it ended up working out. Scotty Barnes' rebounds, though, ended up falling a bit short. So check out Scotty Barnes and his assists. They have actually been low-key hitting. I know we've been going to his rebounds a lot in terms of taking the overs on rebounds for Barnes, but the assists ended up working out for me. George says, DeJounte didn't get my big win. Sorry about that. Yeah, a lot of people liked his points last night. Ben says, took advantage of the PrizePicks crossplay. Bourne over receiving yards, Steph Curry over threes. Good job, Ben. Way to take advantage of that 4x payout. George says, Damian Harris over rushing yards. Did he end up going over? Or did he fall short? I did a little live audio podcast, I guess you could call it, in my Discord channel where I talked about liking Stevenson's rushing yards over Harris's rushing yards. And I know Stevenson absolutely got it done. Corey says, you should do NFL streams too. Well, that's kind of what I was just talking about. So I didn't do a stream yesterday for NFL, but if you're a member of our Discord community, there's a link down in the description. It's free for you to join. I actually jumped on a live stage event, and we went over all of the NFL props for yesterday's PrizePicks NFL game, Thursday Night Football. So you can join the Discord if you want. Occasionally I jump on there and we'll do like a little audio podcast and audio experience where I do basically what I do here on YouTube, except there's no video camera involved. It's just me and the audio experience. So check that out if you want to. Hawks fan says that the Falcons suck so bad. Yeah. PrizePicks came through with the 2-pick 4X. Absolutely. Zacchaeus under was huge for me. Yeah, I actually had him going over. Tajay Sharp, I had him going over as well. I think I liked Tajay Sharp a little bit more than Zacchaeus last night. But yeah, Falcons' passing attack looked terrible. I know a lot of people like Kyle Pitts, myself included, but it did not end up working out. Garrett says, Ja Morant and Bradley Beal not going over messed him up last night. Yeah, did you have Ja Morant in what, rebounds, points, fantasy points? Be interested to hear how you played. I think Beal's assists were a popular play. I don't think he ended up getting there on his assist prop. Cameron says, let's go. We had a good day yesterday. Awesome. Good for you. Markel says, Damian Harris pushed his fantasy points. Yeah, he ended up tying it up. William Tharp Jr. Yo, CJ's the man. I hit on my 4X picks just because of you. Thank you, sir. Ready for another good night. Keep it up. We're going to keep it up for you, William. Sethi, I had a Maxey and Bourne power play. Fantastic. Yeah, I wrote a lot of those Tyrese Maxey over points, Bourne over receiving yards last night, and ended up paying off. Zacchaeus was a good lock, but then my boy Matt Ryan some butt. Yep, Matt Ryan was terrible. Nick says, good morning, CJ. Didn't put them together right last night. Had enough good picks, just not together. Yeah, that's part of the puzzle sometimes, right? Is sometimes you'll have all the right pieces or most of the right pieces, and it's just a matter of kind of putting the right ones together, finding the right combinations, and that can be one of the most difficult parts when you're looking to parlay some of your picks. Steph Curry over 4.5 three-pointers hit, and Butler over 5.5 free throws. Awesome. Yeah, I had Paul George going over 4 free throws and did not work out. I don't even think he went to the line once. Maybe he did, and it just wasn't enough. But he had averaged like 10 or 11 free throw makes in his previous 2 games, and I thought, okay, well, against Memphis, he's got a good shot. Paul George didn't get it done. Luke, man, what's happening, dude? Enrique says, let's go Heat. Alan, what's up? Chaz, good morning. Luke Man says, hit that like button, y'all. Yeah, you listen to Luke Man, or else Luke Man's going to come to your house and give you a piece of his mind. Eric says, Durant under points tonight. Number seems a bit high in a game that could get ugly. Kevin Durant under points. That's interesting. Let's see. He's at 26.5 points. Let's look at his last 5 games. 30 against Orlando. He's playing Orlando tonight. So he dropped 30 against the Magic. 28 against New Orleans, 33 against OKC. His last couple of games, his scoring has been down, though. 19 against Golden State, 23 against Cleveland. But I will tell you this as a Magic fan, if there's ever a game for Kevin Durant to get right in the scoring department, it would probably be against the Orlando Magic. So let's take a look at KD real quick and see if we like the over or the under on his points. So back to props.cash we go. Orlando versus Brooklyn. They've got Kevin Durant at 28.5 points out on most of the sports books. So we're getting him at 26.5 over here on PrizePicks, guys. You're talking about a 2-point difference. It's very rare that PrizePicks will be 2 points different than the other sports books out there. So might want to take advantage of this. Let's go ahead and take a look at it a little bit closer, though. At 28.5 points, he's a 6 out of 10, 60% hit rate. But when we dial it down to 26.5, like he is on PrizePicks, that hit rate goes up to 70%. So he's covered in 7 out of his last 10 games. He's averaging 28.6 points per game for the season, 28.6 in his last 10. His averages have dropped down to 26.6 in his last 5. But I got to say, like I said, against Orlando, previous matchup, 30 points were dropped against my Orlando Magic. At 28.5, though, we're not really seeing anybody touching this prop. No over or under action. It's an even number right now. Against the Orlando defense, they're 23rd in points allowed. Like I said, attack Orlando, right? 21st in field goal percentage allowed. 18th in three-pointers allowed. 14th in three-point field goal percentage allowed. 27th in free throws allowed. So maybe we look at taking the over on Kevin Durant's free throws. Maybe KD goes to the line tonight. 30th in small forward defense. So yeah, 13-point spread here, but if this game blows out, you have to think that Kevin Durant would have a major hand in this game blowing out. Let's go take a look at those free throws real quick for Kevin Durant. The last time that he played Orlando, he went to the line 7 times and made 6 free throws. I don't know if we're going to get the free throw prop for him up on PrizePicks. It doesn't look like they've included it tonight. But if we do, then maybe we could look at Kevin Durant's free throws. Nonetheless, I think this is a good matchup here for KD, especially at 26.5 points. Let's get you a projection, though. He's projected for nearly 28 points according to NumberFire. 27.8, obviously higher than 26.5. So I think the over on Kevin Durant could be a good way to go against a Magic squad that really seems to struggle against small forwards. And, just in general, they just seem to struggle. So yeah, I like KD there. George says he's going to run Sabonis points tonight. Yes, Sabonis points looks like a good move. Let's see what else we got here. Angelicious says, like the video, guys. Yes, thank you for reminding the chat to like this video, like the stream, and I'll keep pumping these things out for you every day that I can. Smooth says, top of the morning to you, CJ. Let's get some W's today. Yeah, throw your dubs up for the Finish Strong Friday live stream, guys. What's up, CJ? Bam and Jokic rebounds killed me by 1, and Van Vliet assist. I thought those were locks for sure. Yeah, unfortunately, Fred Van Vliet did do a good job in terms of going over his fantasy points, but did not get there for the assist. And Jokic, as we talked about, he got pulled a little bit early, so Jokic did not get there in terms of rebounds, but I like that. Cameron says that LeBron James is back. Is he back tonight? LeBron James is back. Is that official? Is that confirmed? Check out LeBron's assists. Well, LeBron's not currently up on the PrizePicks board. Let's see if they've got a projection for him, though, here on NumberFire. And it looks like he is up at 6.1 assists. So you wanted me to check out his assists? And there you have it, Mr. Cameron. 6.1 projected assists. I'm sure that will change, though. What else are we talking about here? Dillon Brooks over 4.5 rebounds. Dillon Brooks making his way back into the Memphis Grizzlies lineup here recently. D. Brooks. We talked about Devin Booker's rebounds. Booker, not Brooks. Where is Dillon Brooks? I don't see Dillon Brooks up on the board, but I can pull up a projection for you. Maybe that'll help you out. Brooks is projected. Well, he's not up on here. Dillon Brooks? Are we talking about last night or what? I don't know. He's not. Dillon Brooks isn't playing tonight, is he? Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what we're talking about here. Let's move on. D Book rebounds over 4.5. Did I read that wrong? Maybe I read that wrong. Yeah, Devin Booker over 4.5 rebounds. Yeah, we like that one. I don't know why I saw Brooks. Sorry about that. I feel like Jokic 20-plus points is always a play. Yeah, Jokic has been on an absolute heater. A tear lately. Ja killed me for $3,000 on his rebound prop. Oh, yeah, I would say that's getting killed. What else we got here? Spinning wheel of death. Yeah, we had some technical issues earlier in the stream. I'm just getting caught up with all these comments here. Jeff B 1988 says, I chose the over on Chris Paul last game and he scored 7. So you're talking about his points. Yeah. But I think we go back to it, man. He's got a rebound, right? We know that that he's not going to score 7 points in a lot of these games. So everybody says we're good. We're back. The stream is back up and in action. Love to see that. DeAndre Ayton at 15.5 points seems good. Let's go find DeAndre Ayton. I took his points the other night. The over on his points and the over on his rebounds, I think both ended up hitting. Yeah, DeAndre Ayton at 15.5 points, drops 21 against Sacramento, 17 against Cleveland, 16 against Houston, 22 against Minnesota, and 19 against Dallas, which happens to be tonight's opponent. So yeah, we can go back to DeAndre Ayton over points, I think. Let's get a projection and see what Number Fire is thinking here on Ayton. They got him at 16.4 points, guys. Why not go back at this prop? Why not? Dallas, not really intimidating anybody, not really worried about them stopping DeAndre Ayton. So Ayton over 15.5 points could be a good look. Let's go see what his rebounds are at. They have him up, 10.5 tonight. I think he was 9.5 the other night, but even at 10.5, he's been getting it done. 21, 12, 11, 12, and 13, and they've got him projected for 9.9. So this one's going to be a little more dicey. Probably would take his points versus his rebounds instead. So yeah, DeAndre Ayton, another good matchup against Dallas. Markel says he's fading Chris Paul. Okay. George, we just looked at Ayton's rebounds. I like his points a little bit more, but Markel says, I think it's pronounced Michael. All right, Markel. I will work on Michael Bridges. Garrett says, if Doncic doesn't play, it could be a good play for Chris Paul. Yeah, in terms of points. Now Kerrigan's saying it's Kale. Man, I don't know. This guy's going to be Bridges from now on. I'm not even going to try. Brunson hit last game with Luka out. Yes, good point. So if Luka Doncic is out, I do like some Jalen Brunson. Brunson had a pretty damn good game with Luka Doncic out in that last matchup. So yes, if Doncic is out, bump up to Kristaps Porzingis and a bump up to Jalen Brunson. Both guys ended up playing well against Phoenix in that last game. Sethi says, I always miss out on Sabonis. Yeah, he's kind of a weird player. Like, it always feels good or looks good, and then, like, it doesn't end up working out. What else do we have here? Sorry, guys. I'm getting caught up on the chat. Cole Anthony over 4 assists. Yeah, Cole Anthony over 4 assists could be a good look. Dang, you guys are dropping heat up in here, guys. Dropping some heat. Cole Anthony was at 4.5 assists earlier on PrizePicks, so they have bumped him down to 4. So LaMelo at 6.5 rebounds seems really good. Let's refresh here on PrizePicks. LaMelo Ball 6. He's at 6 boards. So at 6 boards, that's not bad at all. I would say probably lean toward the over, right? 15 against LA, 9 against Memphis, 17 against New York. This dude's got like 17 rebound upside. That's pretty crazy. 7 against Golden State, 6 against Washington. Let's see what they're talking about here for LaMelo Ball's projected rebounds. They've got him at 6.9 boards. So yeah, I would lean toward the over. Worst case, it looks like maybe 6. He could land on exactly 6, but I don't mind you going over on that prop whatsoever. I think that's a pretty decent look. What else we got here? Somebody said, E-Dot says, me cow Bridges. Mrr. Okay, me cow. Will says, another 10x win last night. Wow, congrats to you. That's either a 4-pick power play or a 5-pick flex play. He hit all of them. That's awesome, man. CJ, cooking up some great stuff this morning. Keep it up, bro. Likes up, people. We got to keep supporting. Yes, please keep supporting. I'll keep supporting you guys by doing the research on these picks and landing on some winning entries, hopefully for you guys. Wicked also likes LaMelo over 6 boards. Yeah, I think that's a good look. That was a good call out by chat. Swift Jacob, what's up to you, man? Alan says Chris Paul over 9.5 assists. Yeah, I think we mentioned we're getting him at 9 assists, right? Or 8.5 assists. Yeah, 8.5 assists. I think you got to take the over at 8.5. It's just looking too good here for the point god, Chris Paul. What else are we liking? Kevin Durant over 4 assists. We have not talked KD assist yet, but at 4 assists, I don't know, man. He's got 2, 3, and 3 in his last 5 game logs. I don't know that I like going over on KD's assist. Looks a little bit too sus. We'll say sus. It looks a little sus to me. Anthony Taylor, what's up to you, Anthony? He's liking the Sabonis points over prop. Yeah, I agree. I think Sabonis over points is looking like a good way to go. Enrique, do some free throws. I do play some free throws. I do play some free throw props. Unfortunately, PrizePicks doesn't have any up at the moment, but hopefully they'll add some in. I mentioned Kevin Durant's free throws looking like a good way to go. Orlando allows a lot of free throws to opposing players. Captain Shango wants me to do some fantasy points. Well, that could be like a whole show on its own. Is there any specific fantasy points props that you're liking? Drop them and I'll do the research for you. Sethi says, gotta leave for work. Good luck tonight. Good luck to you, Sethi, if you're watching this. Scotty Barnes burned me last night. What did Scotty Barnes burn you in? Points, rebounds, assists, fantasy points? Yeah, Ken, we're liking Cole Anthony over 4 assists. That looks like a good way to go. He was at 4.5, as I mentioned, but PrizePicks bumped him down to 4. But in his last 3 games, 8, 11, and 7. So good look on Cole Anthony over 4 assists. He did, I should point out, have just 2 assists versus Brooklyn in the last matchup. So let's take a look at Cole Anthony's projected assists. They got him projected at 5.6 assists today, which would put him well over the 4 number. So yeah, I'd lean toward the over on Cole Anthony. What else are we talking about? Yeah, bro, Reggie Jackson messed me up by 0.1 on fantasy. Yeah, Reggie Jackson's fantasy points were a pain in the butt. Jalen Brunson over 5.5 assists looks good. Yep, if Luka Doncic is out, we got to go to some Jalen Brunson props for sure. Porzingis over 1.5 threes looks good to Gio. Well, Gio, let's go take a look at Kristaps Porzingis. 1.5 3-point makes. He has gone over 1.5 3-point makes in 5 straight games, a 100% hit rate. Now, he had just two against Phoenix in that last game. So he didn't go over by a whole lot, but if Luka Doncic is out, I think we go back to Kristaps Porzingis, and one of the ways you can go back to him is over his 3-point prop at just 1.5. So that one is a decent look, I think. From the first glance, on the surface, it looks like a pretty good play. You might want to dig a little bit deeper on that. If you're looking for like a projection for 3-point makes, you can go to bettingpros.com. They do have 3-point field goal make projections out there for you. Craig says, my goodness, it was a terrible night for me. I'm so sorry to hear that, Craig. Who let you down? That'd be interesting to hear. Silly Rabbit 007, Tatum over 41 fantasy points. Yeah, I took Tatum over fantasy points the other night against the Hawks, and it ended up being a solid way to go. Jason Tatum's at 41.5 right now. If we look at his last 5 games, he's been blowing 41.5 fantasy points away in the majority of those games. 80% hit rate in his last 5, 47.9, 47.7, 50.1, and a big 54.3 performance against the Atlanta Hawks. So Jason Tatum putting the squad on his back. He's going to be playing up against one of his heroes here, LeBron James. Look at that smile on LeBron James. Was this guy sitting out to go get some dental work done? I mean, that's a Colgate smile if I've ever seen one. LeBron James at just 38 fantasy points. But let's get you a projection on Jason Tatum here. As I mentioned, been smashing 41.5. They've got him projected to go for 40 tonight. 40 against the Lakers. So, I don't know. He's not looking like a fantasy point projection darling in this case. Zebo says he broke even last night. Well, now we're going to have to get revenge. Okay, now we're going to have to get even. You broke even, now we're going to get even with PrizePicks. We're going to win you some money tonight. I got a feeling, good feeling about tonight. Ron S. says he did okay last night. Mac Jones taking knees screwed me. Yeah, Mac Jones actually covered his rushing prop of 2.5 rushing yards in the very first drive of the game. He had 3 rushing yards, and I don't know what happened. I went and looked at the box score. The guy had 6 carries for like 1 rushing yard. I'm like, how'd that happen? So somehow he ended up going backwards. Smooth says Paul George and Keldon Johnson both under on rebounds. Tobias Harris under on points too. All 3 killed me last night. Blake Griffin over on points today though. I think he will cover the 6.5 on PrizePicks. So yeah, we talked a little bit about Blake Griffin's points. He's at 7.5 out on your favorite sports book though. 6.5 on PrizePicks. So that one's a tricky one. Luke Man says Curry. Look at LaMelo's boards, please. Yeah, we took a quick glimpse at LaMelo Ball's rebounds. I think it's a solid way to go. 6 or more rebounds, I think, is very doable for LaMelo Ball. Captain Shango says, Ja was a go last night. I don't know what that means. He didn't get his rebound prop. He had 5 rebounds. I needed him to get 6, but we still profited, though, by taking the over on Ja's rebounds because it pushed or tied on PrizePicks. George says LeBron's fantasy points will be in at least one of my entries. Yeah, 38 fantasy points. We just talked about that. Kind of seems light for LeBron James. 43 against Memphis, 46 against Cleveland, 48 against Houston, and 51 against Houston. Now, this guy hasn't played since November 2nd. It's been over 2 weeks since we last saw LeBron James out on a basketball court. He's taking on Boston tonight, so just be careful. Be careful with that one. I'm not sure what to expect with LeBron. I'm always playing the safe route on a lot of these guys who are returning from injury, getting back into the lineup. I like to sit back, wait and see what happens, and, mitigate some risk, some damages potentially. So I take the wait and see approach usually. So be careful on LeBron James fantasy points. Gio says DeAndre Ayton over 10.5 rebounds also looks good. We talked about that one briefly. I think I favor his points over his rebounds on DeAndre Ayton personally. Cade Cunningham over 28 fantasy points. Let's look at Cade Cunningham, the rookie guard for the Detroit Pistons. Cunningham sitting at 28 fantasy points. This hasn't been a guy that I've played a whole lot this season. Kind of just trying to figure out his role. I'm trying to see what he's doing here for Detroit. He had 34 against Houston, 48 against Sacramento, and 42 against Indy. So in his last 2 games, this dude's been hooping. He's been hooping. Today he's taking on the Golden State Warriors, though. We know them as being one of the best teams, one of the toughest teams in all of the NBA. So the projection is 27.7 fantasy points right now for Cade Cunningham. That puts him really close to 28, a little too close for me. I'm not really seeing enough of an edge based on the projections on Number Fire, so I don't know that I'm going to go with Cade Cunningham. What else are we talking about here? What's the number 1 play on the board for you? Well, Mr. Christopher Pringle. I like your last name. Pringles are delicious. What's the number 1 play on the board for me? We've talked about a lot of really good plays. I don't know that I have one that stands out above all the rest, but I mean, LaMelo Ball's rebounds, we talked about him. We talked about DeAndre Ayton's over points, Chris Paul over 8.5 assists, maybe Cole Anthony over 4 assists. A lot of different ways to go. Domantas Sabonis over 15.5 points. Those are just some of the ones that I can remember off the top of my head. What is your Discord channel? Markel, the link to the Discord is down in the description below. Check it out if you would like to join. That's how you get in there. Kerrigan, how are we feeling about Ayton going over points? I like it more than his rebounds. Jared says, under on Jeremy Grant points. Under on Jeremy Grant's, I guess, real life points. He's at 17.5 today, taking on a tough Warriors team. In his last 5 games, though, he has gone over 17.5 in 3 out of those 5. 60% hit rate. Let's look at Jeremy Grant here. I don't need to dig too much into the matchups because, like I said, I know that the Golden State Warriors are one of the toughest defensive teams. They've got him projected, though, for 19.9 points, almost 20 points, which puts him well over 17.5. So I'd be careful with Jeremy Grant. For me, it's either a fade or maybe you end up taking the over, but I just don't like it. Jeremy Grant, kind of one of those inconsistent type of players. It's probably not a prop that I'm going to go to today. Miguel says, NFL stream for sure. Yeah, I've done some NFL streams in the past, usually on a Sunday. Maybe I can start doing the streams on a Saturday, like an NFL stream on a Saturday, and give it a little bit more time to sort of marinate before it becomes completely useless. And what I mean is a lot of these videos, they have a short shelf life, so I'll upload them. And then, it's a whole new NBA slate the next day. But maybe I can do an NFL stream on like a Saturday morning or something like that. We'll see. At some point, you have to unplug. You have to recharge those batteries, though, and kind of step away from doing this so you don't get burnt out. Zebo says he wants to go over on Mo Bamba, but he's iffy. Yeah, I was looking at the rebounds for both Wendell Carter Jr. and Mo Bamba. Wendell Carter Jr. is at 8.5 boards. He's covered this in 1-2 games, right? But then we had Mo Bamba, I thought, was at a much friendlier rebound prop. Yeah, 7.5 rebounds. I like the 7.5 for Mo Bamba's rebounds a lot better than Wendell Carter Jr. He had 10 against Brooklyn in their last meeting, 18, 8, and 12. So he's covered in 4 straight games, has Mo Bamba. Let's go ahead and pull up a projection for you. Mo Bamba's projected for 9.8 rebounds. So add Mo Bamba to my list of prospects tonight. I like the over at 7.5 rebounds. Young Mo's been getting it done, man. Don't sleep on Mo Bamba. What else do we got here? Bradley Beal's assist was a push. Okay, so he ended up pushing. Yeah, he was like another one of those guys like Ja Morant's rebounds where we really had high hopes, ended up being a push. Captain Shango says, I'm thinking Kevin Durant will bounce back. If not, he's been dishing to Harden because Harden has been sleeping. Okay. Yeah, I like Kevin Durant to bounce back against the Magic. Luke, go. I think I'm saying that right. Go. Are we going under on Blake's points again? I'm not going under on Blake Griffin's points at 6.5 points. I am not personally looking to go there. If you could get him at 7.5 points somewhere else, though, I would say consider going under. But I'm not going to go under on Blake Griffin's points against Orlando. We're kind of soft on the inside. I'll just say it. I don't feel great about it. Trill Fate says they do not have a Steph Curry point prop up yet. Is that true? No Steph Curry? Well, there's definitely... I'm not seeing any Golden State Warriors here at the moment. They'll definitely add Steph Curry at some point. Don't you worry about that. It's just not up there yet. Do you feel good about Cole Anthony over assists? Yes, that was one that we've talked about at length here. Cole Anthony was at 4.5 assists. He's now down to 4. I would probably lean toward the over on Mr. Cole Anthony, although he did finish with just 2 assists in his last game. Yeah, Nick, I'm so behind on the comments. There's a lot of them in here. That's why I recommend using Super Chat. Definitely Super Chat if you have some comments that you want to shine and stick out from the rest, because otherwise I'm going to miss a lot of comments. It's just, I'm trying to take them in the order in which they are received. So Rise and Grind. Yeah, Boston Rise and Grind. Triple G says, what did I miss? I got in, had to sneak into the bathroom. Sabonis cost me last time, so I don't know about that. Yeah, well, sometimes we got to go back to them. We got to have short-term memories in this prop game. Ja Morant over 5.5 rebounds and Reggie over 18.5 points. Both missed by 0.5. I'm sorry to hear that dream come true. Yeah, I had Ja Morant at 5 rebounds on PrizePicks. Zebo's liking Kristaps Porzingis over 1.5 threes. Yeah, we like that one, Corey and Zebo. Chad says, I love Wendell Carter Jr., DeAndre Ayton, Porzingis, Mo Bamba, and Sabonis over on first half points. All right. I'm going to take your word on that one, Chad. I don't talk about first half points a whole lot. I actually don't play first half points a lot, but I know people that do, and they make pretty good money doing it. So you can play first half only props over on PrizePicks. Again, promo code Curry, 100% instant deposit match. Check it out. Link down in the description. Cameron says he feels like he'll be looking to set people up tonight instead of driving to the paint, so I like it at 6. All right. Nick says free throws always pop up later in the day on PrizePicks. Good to know, Nick. Thanks for dropping that. Ja pushed on rebounds. Yeah, Trill. Ja pushed on rebounds, that's for sure. Dorian Finney-Smith over 1 3-point make. Maybe. I know Dorian Finney-Smith, not a high volume 3-point shooter, so he's going to have to be ultra efficient with the attempts. In other words, he's going to have to make them at a high clip. But in his last 3 games, he's hit 3, 2, and 3. So he's gone over 1 3-point make in 3 straight. If we look at the last 5 games, he's gone for 1 or more in 5 straight games. So technically, it is a 100% hit rate. I like it a bit more, especially if Luka Doncic is out. So that could be a good way to go. Dorian Finney-Smith at 1 3-point make. I could see him absolutely making at least 1. So push might be the worst case scenario. Tobias Harris missed by 0.5. Yeah, Demetrius, Tobias Harris broke my heart too. I actually had him going over free throw attempts. He was at 2 free throw makes, and he goes to the line and misses both of his free throws, goes 0 for 2. I had him paired up with Nikola Jokic over free throw makes and powered it, so I ended up losing. Thank you, Tobias Harris, for that. What else do we got here? Brandon Ingram rebounds, 4.5. Arrington. What's up, Arrington? Arrington, a longtime member of the Patreon community. If you want to join Patreon, it's just $20 a month. Down in the description of this video, you will find a link. You can go there, join Patreon. And I try to give back by posting at least 1 or 2 different exclusive content posts per day to help you guys in your research and everything. So check out Patreon if you haven't yet. But yes, let's look at Brandon Ingram's rebounds. We mentioned at 3.5 boards, we liked him. Now he's at 4 rebounds. So you mentioned him at 4.5 boards. Maybe he's gotten bumped down since you dropped that question. But if we look at his last 5 games, 9, 7, 5, and 4, 80% hit rate at going for 4 or more rebounds. So a lot to love here for Brandon Ingram and these rebounds. Let's pull up a projection. They got him at 5.1 projected boards on Number Fire. So yeah, I think that we should take the over on Brandon Ingram. And worst case, we end up pushing on those boards. What else are we liking here today? Kyle, I like the over on Miles Bridges fantasy points at 35. We can pull up a quick projection for Bridges. 36.3 is his projection, so slightly over the number on PrizePicks. Chad says 2 knees at the end killed the Mac Jones 2.5 rushing yards prop. There you go. That explains it. LeBron's fantasy points is up. Yeah, LeBron, we talked about liking his fantasy points. Nick, I'm trying to catch up on the comments, my friend. Hang in there. Ingram is at 4 rebounds. Yeah, we just talked about Ingram's rebounds. Melo Ball over 6.5 assists. We liked Melo's rebounds at 6 rebounds. We didn't talk about his assists, though. 6.5 assists. He's gone over in 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd probably have to take his rebounds at 6 versus his assists at 6.5. His rebound number has actually hit, I think, 100% of the time. Yeah, 100% in his last 5 games, going for 6 or more rebounds in 5 straight. So I'd probably lean rebounds versus assists. Just my 2 cents. Kristaps 3-pointers over looks like the way to go, especially if Doncic sits. Agree with you. 1.53 seems doable for KP6. Miles Bridges and Westbrook fantasy points. Captain Shango's liking both because LeBron is still having abdominal pain, so it's to be determined. Do you think Brandon Ingram will go over 3.5 assists? Well, I don't have a crystal ball or anything, but we can look at it against the Clippers. He has gone over 3.5 assists in 5 straight games. So if this game stays close and competitive, then I think Brandon Ingram's got a shot here of going for at least 4 assists. He's done so in at least the last 5 games. I can pull up a projection for Brandon Ingram for everybody watching. Brandon Ingram projected for 4.8 assists, so almost 5 assists. So I would definitely say if you're leaning anyway on this, it's got to be toward the over, right? Triple G says that Luka is out versus the Suns. If that's official, then that is big news for the likes of Kristaps Porzingis, Jalen Brunson. We like both of those guys in another matchup against the Phoenix Suns. What else are we talking? Yeah, Mo Bamba. Kevin, we talked about Mo Bamba over 7.5 boards. I like the Mo Bamba 7.5 rebounds versus the Wendell Carter Jr. 8.5 rebounds. So I like Mo Bamba a little bit better. Somebody's asking about Mo Bamba at 8 rebounds. Did he get bumped up? Where's he at? Oh, he's at 7.5 on my screen. I'll refresh. Maybe it changed. But yeah, Mo Bamba was at 7.5 boards. He's still at 7.5. Yeah, If you get him at 8, I don't know where you're playing at, but Mo Bamba at 8 rebounds, I would probably still think that the over would be the way to go. Taylor's up in the chat. Vacation time means more time to watch you do your magic. All right, buddy. Appreciate you tuning in. Me and Taylor have been friends for 20 plus years, I think. Going back to like 8th grade. That just tells you how old I am. Nick says, Steph Curry listed at just 45.5 fantasy points. Is there something I'm missing here? I don't know. Is that a trap? Is that what you're asking? Is that too low or too high? Probably too low, right? Steph Curry's been balling out. I don't even see him up on the board. Maybe I passed him. Yeah, I don't see Steph. Let's type. Oh, there he is. 45.5. He's right in front of my face. 45.5. Yeah, he's gone over in 4 straight games. 50 plus fantasy points in 4 straight games. So I see what you're saying. 45.5 seems a little bit low for Steph Curry, who is quite possibly the league MVP to this point. They have him projected for 44 fantasy points on Number Fire versus Detroit. Maybe it's the blowout. Maybe it's blowout city. So that could be the reason why Steph Curry's so low. Yeah, Boston saying Curry's on a back-to-back and against the Pistons will blow out, will not touch Curry's fantasy. There you go. See, that's what I'm saying. Me and Boston, we're on the same wavelength here. Will says Kristaps Porzingis over 1.53s. Yes, Will. We have definitely talked about that one extensively. Porzingis over 1.53s, looking solid, looking very solid. Top 5 PrizePicks plays for a power play, Eric. Well, God, we've covered a lot of them. We're getting more soft lines today. Most of them are on the single stat side of things. There's really too many for me to remember, but we talked about Sabonis over 15.5 points, Kristaps Porzingis over 1.5 3-point makes. We talked about liking LaMelo Ball over 6 rebounds. We talked about Chris Paul over 8.5 assists. We like Chris Paul's points too. Those look pretty juicy. We like Mo Bamba over 7.5 rebounds. What else did we mention? Dorian Finney-Smith at 1 3-point make. We liked him to make at least 1, maybe even 2 3-pointers. Man, there's just been a ton. You're going to have to go back and watch the replay, but that's about all I got for you. Jalen Brunson over 5.5 assists. Yeah, we like Jalen Brunson with Luka Doncic ruled out from what it sounded like that was official. Everyday Fantasy says Hayward over 2.5 assists is a lock. Gordon Hayward 2.5 assists is a lock. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. I don't like the L word, that word lock. Now, Gordon Hayward had 1 assist in his last game, which put him under 2.5 assists. But his previous 4 games, he went well over 2.5 assists. I'll just pull up a projection real quick as we look to kind of close out the stream. I don't even know how long we've been on stream. My clock is all jacked up from the technical difficulties we had earlier. But they got him projected for 3.7 assists against the Indiana Pacers tonight. So he says it's a lock, guys. If he says it's a lock, maybe Everyday Fantasy knows something we don't. Zebo, Dorian Finney-Smith over 1 3-point make. G-Lo got bars. You got bars? I got bars. Let's have a rap battle live on stream one morning. Brandon Ingram over 4 rebounds. Yeah, we talked about that one. Steph Curry is out tonight. Is that true? Steph Curry is being rested. Brandon, are you dropping breaking news? Is that a Woj bomb? A Brandon bomb by Mr. Opperman? Steph Curry is out. Okay. Jordan Poole time. Fire up some Jordan Poole. Yeah, I don't mind that, Mr. E. Hackney. Kyle says, I like the over on Miles Bridges over fantasy points at 35. Nick says, I'm not complaining. It's just funny. Yeah, I need a moderator. That's what I need. When I go live, I gotta find me a moderator that's going to feed me some of these top questions. That's a lot. I'm managing the stream, managing the chat, doing the research. I'm a one-man band here doing it all. Right, Nick? Dr. Hall 27 says PG over 7 boards. Paul George over 7 rebounds. That sounds like a big over for me. 7 boards doesn't sound like a whole lot. Where is he at? That's part of the problem, finding props on the PrizePicks board. 7 rebounds. He had 5 in his last game, 4 against Miami. So a couple of duds mixed in there. But sandwiched in between those duds, we've got 9, 11, and 9. So PG at 7 boards. Yeah, perhaps. Perhaps. He's projected for 7.2 rebounds. I think there's better plays out there. Plays with higher hit rates that have more of an edge than this one. Paul George, just a 60% hit rate at 7 or more rebounds. What else we talking about here? Sed's in the building. What's up, Sed? Patty Mills over 1.5 boards. Yeah, it's kind of weird. We saw Patty Mills at 4.5 rebounds out on the various sports books, but he's at just 1.5 rebounds for whatever reason out on PrizePicks. Yeah, G-Lo, you know what's up. No such thing as a lock. G-Lo says, I battle rap in real life. Well, you know what? This is real life. I'm challenging you to a battle rap. I got bars. Bars that'll take your bars down. Okay? Big bank, take little bank, G-Lo. I'm for real. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Do you ever look at college basketball? Not really. I don't get into college basketball a whole lot. Zebo saying, yeah, he thinks Curry is out. Well, speaking of Curry being out, this is my time to get out because I've just challenged somebody who battle raps in real life to a real life rap battle, and I don't know if I can back it up, so I better get out of here before I get my ass kicked. G-Lo says, let's go. Let's go. Hey, G-Lo, I ain't going to challenge you, but I would like to hear your rap, so drop me a DM or something, maybe over on Twitter, at Curry the Creator. I would like to see your raps, man, but that's going to be it, guys. I'm going to get out of here. You go lock in some entries. There's a lot of different ways to go. If you join the stream late, good news for you. You can watch the replay. Go check out the replay once it gets posted up to YouTube. But I'm going to get out of here, guys. It's been a lot of fun. Sorry for the technical difficulties earlier. Don't know what that was about, but we overcame, and hopefully we landed on some very good picks. But I appreciate all of you for joining in. Have a great weekend. If I don't see you Saturday, I don't know if I'll do a live stream or not, but if I don't see you then I'll catch you back here on Monday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Good luck tonight. Hopefully we finish strong Friday. Catch you in the next one, guys. Peace.